Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking It Real. If you're new here, my name is Kathy, and I am so glad that you are joining me in the kitchen. Well, today I have a recipe that takes me right back, way back to my childhood. I spent my early childhood growing up in South Boston, Massachusetts, and this recipe takes me right back to my Nana's kitchen. It's one of those classic New England desserts that to me just absolutely epitomizes fall and comfort and all the warming flavors that you think of when you think of a grandmother's kitchen. Now, my Nana, who was my dad's mom, was not like a bake the cookies with you type grandmother, but she did like her sweets, especially with her afternoon cup of tea. And this is one of the ones that I have very fond memories of. It's called Hermits. What is a hermit? Well, a hermit is a molasses, raisin-filled cookie bar. Why do they call it a hermit? That I'm not sure. Personally, I think that New England cooks and cooks in like places like Pennsylvania Dutch country, they made up the weirdest names for their dishes. I mean, seriously. But I have heard it said that they are called hermits because you can take this cookie bar and you can put it in your cupboard and you can leave it there for an extended amount of time. Now, what does that mean? 2 years, 10 years? No. But what it means is that these cookies, or these bars, if you will, they stay fresh for a very long time. They're not going to go stale, and you're going to be able to enjoy them, hermit them away, tuck them away in the cupboard, and keep them from the kids so you have plenty left for your cup of tea in the afternoon. Whatever you call them, they're delicious. And I am so excited to tell you how to make them. Now, this recipe comes from my dad's cookbook, The Best of Dad. I've showed you that in a previous video. And he had a rating system of stars. And this Hermit's recipe got 5 stars. That's as high as it goes. So you know this is going to be good. It's going to be authentic. It's going to be delicious. And I think you're going to love them. Let's get started. The ingredients are simple and it goes together really quickly. But you want to do a couple of things before you get started. One is you want to have a half a cup or 1 stick of butter and you want to soften it. You want to melt it, you just want it softened to room temperature. Now, I will be honest, in my dad's recipe, he has shortening, solid shortening instead of butter. Now, that's like, Crisco, that sort of thing. Well, tastes have changed over the years, and solid shortening has kind of fallen a little bit out of favor. And so even though you can still find it in the store, and if you want to be truly authentic, you should use that shortening. But I use butter now, and it is just as good, trust me. Now, the other thing that you want to take care of in advance are the raisins. All right, here in this bowl, I have 1 cup of raisins, and I have taken as much boiling water as will cover the raisins, and you want to let them soak for about 30 minutes, and that just is going to plump them up, and once they're fully soaked, you want to drain them and get off all the excess moisture. This is going to make sure you get a nice, gushy raisin in your hermit. Now, I will say, there have been a couple of times when I have just put the raisins in without soaking them. So, you do you. Depends on how you feel on that day. Soak or not soak, I'm not judging. Once you get all the advanced stuff done, we can get started with putting our hermits together. First things first, let's start by creaming our butter and sugar. I have 1 cup of light brown sugar in my mixing bowl. You can use dark brown sugar, totally up to you. And I have my softened 1 stick or 1/2 cup of butter. Put my paddle on and let's get creaming. That didn't take any time at all. All right. And now, Nana did not have a big KitchenAid mixer. She'd have done this by hand. She'd have taken her butter and her sugar, and she'd have taken a fork, and she'd have just mash until it creamed. And you can do that too. I have 2 eggs that I'm going to add here. This goes to the compost. And we're going to mix that up. So it's nice and smooth. Excellent. Now we're going to add 1/4 cup of molasses. And honestly, just smelling molasses makes me think of being a child and my Nana. And being in Boston. Honestly, molasses does the trick. All right, 1/4 cup. Woo! That's a little bit extra. That ain't gonna hurt nobody. All right, let's see. Let me get my spatch. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, do you like molasses? Do you have molasses memories like I do? Ooh, love it. Okay. Mix this up. All right, another easy peasy. Okay, now we're gonna do bad girl baking. Okay, instead of doing the good girl thing and putting these in a separate bowl and mixing the flour and all the spices and dry ingredients together, we're gonna do it my way. First thing I'm gonna add is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, and then I already have measured out the rest of the ingredients. I hope you can see this. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a heaping teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove. And that's all going in. And these are all the warming spices, the pumpkin pie spices. In fact, if you don't have all these spices on hand and you want to just use pumpkin pie spice, you can definitely do that. Same thing, no judgment. You do you, boo. And let's mix that up. Okay, and now we're going to add our flour. Now I need 2 cups of just regular all-purpose flour. One. And 2. Okay. I'm going to mix that a little bit more gently. Okay. Now, honestly, this is going really fast, really quickly, especially if you measure out, your little fiddly spices in advance. And I might cut a little bit in the editing just so you don't have to stare at the mixing bowl, but it really is going super duper fast. All right, scrape that down a little bit. Now we're going to add our raisins. And as you can see, I've drained the raisins so they don't have all that excess liquid. And pour them in. There we go. Now, my dad's recipe, which is really my Nana's recipe, says to stir it in with a rubber spatula, but, I got a mixer going, so why not? All right. And you might say, that seems like a lot of raisins, but think of them like chocolate chips. It's about the same kind of ratio. So you're going to get, it's going to be perfect. Trust me. And if you want it to be fancy or posh, you could add nuts here. I have done that before. My dad has done that before. He would add walnuts. I might add walnuts, or I might add pecans. We never had pecans growing up because we grew up in the north, not the south. But here in the South, pecans are the nut of choice. Let's scrape this off. Now we're almost ready to go, but we have to do one thing, and this is going to take a little time. Scrape down the sides. I'm trying to kind of gather everything into the center of the bowl, because what we got to do now is we got to cover this, and we're going to put it in the fridge and let it rest for 1 hour. Okay? Important step. Don't skip that step. Covered and into the fridge. Okay, we've had our hour in the fridge, chilling, kind of setting it up a little bit, making it easier to work with. And now we're going to put it on our baking sheets, and we're going to form our hermits. All right, now, in the recipe, it's like 1 large baking sheet, which is like this, okay? But I told you before, my oven is a stinker these days. So I'm using my toaster oven. Okay, you want to preheat it to 350. Now, you want to either put parchment down or use a silicone mat or grease your pan. One or the other. No, not one or the other. Any one of those 3. Pick your. On my pan, I'm going to put a little bit of flour. I definitely think you might, here's a tip. A little late for me, but not for thee. You might want to do this a day ahead and put it in the fridge for overnight. I don't know. Let's see. Now we're going to try to smush this down. I'm going to get a little bit of flour on top. Ain't going to hurt nothing. And whoop, hang on now. All right, bear with me, folks. Yes. This is supposed to be like where you can roll it in your hands. That's what the recipe says. It's going to spread. All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a shape so that when it's cooked, we can cut it into bars. And I think I'm doing that now. I hope you can see this. There we go. Now, along the edges, maybe a little ragged, but you know what? I don't remember my Nana's being beautiful or perfect. I just remember them tasting amazing. Okay, so now this is going to spread just like if you did a chocolate chip cookie that was this big, it's going to spread just a little bit. So this is going to spread a little bit more than a little bit, but it's going to be perfect. Trust me, it's going to be great. All right, 350-degree oven, 25 to 30 minutes. So I'm going to start at 25 and we'll see what happens. Hoo-wee! I think this cooked up good. All right, let's cut into it and see what it looks like. All right, let's start cutting down the middle. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. See that? Ooh, that looks beautiful. Okay, now you can make this pretty or you can make this rustic. It's totally up to you. I think I'm going to try for a little bit of pretty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this edge off like so. And this is going to be for the cook. That's me. Yeah, and because it broke like that, that's fine. That's fine. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. All right. Bring this over here. And put these little bits over here for now. I'm going to eat you for sure. And let's just try to square these up a little bit. And you can make these any size you want. You know, honestly, I remember these being kind of large actually. This is a little crispy on the edges, but nothing wrong with that. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Ooh, that's for me. Oh, it smells just like childhood. Thank you, Nana. Thank you, Dad, for making this recipe, for giving it to me so that I could share it with y'all. All right, let's give this a taste, shall we? Mm. Mm. Soft, slightly chewy with the raisins. Mm. Mm. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I want to have one in each hand. They're so good. Oops, sorry. Get my cup of tea. I'm good. Give them a try. I think you're going to love them. I also ask you, please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share it with your friends and family. Let them know what's going on in this channel. We love good things. We love nostalgic things. And we like mostly cooking it real. So until next time, bye everybody.